This week on Hermitcraft, it's week 90 of season 9. I just need this to last another 2 months so we can make 100 weeks on Hermitcraft video. Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And yes, I know, I promised you a TCG unboxing video, and it has now been recorded, but I wanted to give it a little bit more production time and give this week's recap a little room to breathe, so it'll be out this week, pinky promise. In the meantime, an event of epic proportions has taken place on the server itself, as the Hermits invited 6 non-Hermits to run decked out for a day. In no particular order, LD Shadow Lady, Skizzleman, Smallish Beans, In the Littlewood, Solidarity, and H-Bomb all appeared on Hermitcraft and were immediately thrown into the dungeon one after the other. Since this was such a unique event and took place entirely on live streams, we won't be covering it in this recap, leaving it up to you to check out the creators' videos and cheer every time they made it out unravaged. But enough about what we aren't doing in this script, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with good times with Scar, who survived getting a concussion at TwitchCon. Obligatory activity for TwitchCon, really.
Fought off this infection twice. I even survived a concussion at TwitchCon. Had a blast, met so many amazing viewers out there. So
what Scar does not actually survive is his storage system cart-sploding in his absence. Somehow, the redstone sorting system within Scarland arrived at the idea to jettison around 1,000 hopper minecarts into itself. Guess it figured the place needed a subway.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die, look at this!
This leads to a literal train wreck and a rare case of entity cramming with just the mining equipment.
I don't think I've ever seen the death message squashed. Fall from high places, suffocate, but squashed?
This derail won't stop this building train though, and Scar makes it out to the volcanic grounds of his theme park to build up a whole new area, the Adventureland custom biome, to house some rides in the future and an elephant in the now.
So we need to go all out and make this one of the coolest landscapes we have ever made. Cannot wait for us to get some more theme park elements built into this area.
Scarland is also an epic project, and now with the new addition of the volcano, so you know, if Ren really wants to poke them, he needs to step it up.
Misfortune follows Scar even to the halls of Decked Out, as his first try on the deadly difficulty sent him immediately to the Burning Dark, a rare 1 in 80 chance, by the way. What's worse, the compass he's given leads to a broken artifact dispenser, and even then, Scar makes it all the way back to cave level, only to be jaw-snapped by an evoker just a few steps away from the exit.
I almost made it. I dodged so many Vexes on the way out that I didn't expect the monsters from below.
If Scar's run was cursed, then Joe Hill's attempts are hexed for multiple generations. After attempting 5 runs on Deep Frost difficulty for the heck of it, and with Tango hovering over his shoulder the entire time, Joe aims deeper than he ever has before. Unfortunately for him, the lava pools are not that deep.
Good run every Tango.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a good run.
Until I jumped into the lava without...
Until the toes, yeah.
This was a warm-up, you know?
Making it to the Black Mines for the first time on the next run, he discovers that wardens don't like you rummaging through their stuff.
I was like, I could get... If I open the barrel, he's gonna see me, but I might be able to dash. We have the Scar problem. No!
And on his final Deep Frost attempt, he is able to successfully input the key to open the Burning Dark, only to be blown up by the TNT that detonates the entrance.
I thought I would be out of range of the explosion, but I was not. Oh. I couldn't see anything.
So it's no surprise when his following video sees him returning to medium difficulty in the hope of acquiring some level 1 artifacts. Mostly because it's more refreshing to actually make it out alive, but the longer he stays there, the more frost embers he can rack up, and he's hoping to beat Scar's record. There are also opportunities to create new lore as he goes.
Let's go ahead and check back by the Kneeling Man, and then we will... Fun fact, the Kneeling Man's name is George, after Tango's favorite beetle. This beetle is commonly found in cupboard.
While Joe doesn't unseat Scar from the throne of medium run supremacy, he does bank enough victory tomes that he comes in 5th for this phase. Another aside is that trying to level the brightness of Burning Dark footage does indeed make it look deep fried, so that turned out to be a fitting name, huh? Regardless, Cub makes it to the finale of the current phase of the competition, which is important because he then dominates it.
3, 4.
My try-hard phase.
I know Cub would. So yeah, Cub submitted 15 and gets first place again.
Let's go!
We got only
4
15.
Pete.
Oh, come on. I should have
Let's
did
go.
one more run.
See?
No!
With Etho in second place and Hypno in third, Cub remains a significant threat to the leaderboard. But this could go either way if he embraces this new card called Pirate Booty. All it does is drop treasure at the pirate boat, but remember, that's also where all the Trident Drowned are.
I have a present for you.
Ooh, let's go. I guess when this gets played, it drops a card on the ship, pretty much.
Yes.
With fierce competition at the top, Pearlescent Moon decides to redirect some of her decked out effort back into building at her base. And fortunately for us, that is a metric ton of effort.
Remaking this particular segment will officially connect our neighbor, Tango, right over there, to the soup group area. And
Pearl proceeds to deforest an entire mega taiga biome and lay out some guidelines for terrain, following the path Gemini Tay already made for the area, before deciding we probably can't make sense of this stone jungle gym, so she'd better just go to the time-lapse.
the whole thing in itself is really quite interesting as well, because if you look at this, this still looks very earthy, doesn't it? Like, it's very green, it's very lush, it's got your really just natural tones with all the terracotta.
The time-lapse in question sees her sculpting the entire area between her base and the Frost Citadel into a beautiful landscape of rolling hills and overhangs. It probably took weeks to do all this, but it took seconds for Cub to make it into a golf course. And if that wasn't impressive enough, the landscape is designed so it frames elements of the surrounding builds, allowing a glimpse of the Frost Citadel through a gap in the hills, and will even incorporate references to Decked Out, where their two landscapes meet. But while Pearl has been leaving the majority of dungeon runs on her second channel, she deservedly puts one epic Deep Frost attempt into her main episode. Bringing Tango with her as the dungeon lackey, they speedrun their way to the Burning Dark, locate the most valuable artifact, and despite Tango dying on the way back, Pearl makes it across the finish line and is able to buy any card that appears in the shop.
Brilliant.
Oh!
Oh, Deep Frost!
Defrost!
Let's do it!
Oh, yes! Okay.
Happy to have that achievement under her belt, Pearl returns to her Sniffer Sanctuary and employs some Allays to help gather all the seeds. After all, she's got a golf course to decorate.
I originally aimed to set this up before I did the terrain so that it could be operating while I was building, but I ended up a little bit too eager to build the landscape.
But perhaps a greater multiplayer still was the so-called unsanctioned run hypnotized, roped Cub, Scar, and Jevin into, where all of them crammed themselves into the starting area at the same time.
Scar, you never miss an opportunity to show your abs, Moon.
Go ahead and go fast.
What could go wrong? This will be fine.
Only Cub and Hypno actually made it past the minecart ride, mind you, but it was certainly a delightful treat amongst Hypno's long compilation videos of his other decked out attempts, which by now he has reached episode 51 thanks to. And given that Decked Out for him started on episode 29, at this rate he'll soon have more Decked Out videos than other Hermitcraft ones, which is an interesting thing to bring up during Stat Poker.
But a win's a win, I'll take a win.
One unexpected way Decked Out affected the server is how the Stat Poker table flipped when they had to figure out which one of them spent the least of the season crouched.
And in distance, crouched lowest number.
Oh my goodness, all the decked out stat.
Ijevin posts his perspective of game night with Hypno, Cub, and Joe, as well as the scary time he had at the Total Chaos minigame, because let's face it, there is no other time to be had in Cub fans' suffering nexus.
It's still going to be fun to show you, see my point of view, because I died right away, so I had Spectator, like, on lock.
Though the most important stats Jevin pokes at is his amount of netherite debris mined. Turns out this whole time, Jevin has been chipping away at the nether's belly in search of metal for his netherite beacon pyramid, and by now the chippings add up to over 5,000. Naturally, there's a separate video to be had about that mining operation, but for now it's just nice to see this much of the rare material in one chest.
So one full double chest, and then another chest. Once all of these are filled up, we're done. So we'll have like a special video for that. It's going to be really awesome.
But the main event everyone's talking about this week is, of course, the people invited to try out Decked Out for the day, or rather the people spending that day in the Decked Out lobby, because let's face it, it's the wild interactions between the gang and the other gang that we're really here for.
It's a person, it's a person.
It's a person.
Oh, the Mona Lisa.
Self-portrait.
Give me a moment. That doesn't
this
look
Mary
anything
Poppins?
like me.
For one, False Symmetry snatches the guests to come race her and Etho at the Iceboat racetrack. Gotta get the zoomies out and everything. But the main event seems to be them all playing Pictionary in the Decked Out waiting room. since charades are a tad cumbersome with the limited in-game avatars.
Brian, not everyone's on the same wavelength.
Ooh, throwback to the earlier game.
I'm gonna rename this room from the waiting room to the judgy room.
Props to False for getting told to build internet and tanking through it. Not only did it take them a minute to recognize what she built as a router because there wasn't a cat resting on it, but also now we can with confidence say that the Hermitcraft server does in fact have the internet. The other Hermit perspective we get on this incursion is from Rendog, who doesn't make this a formal Hermitcraft episode, but will literally walk through fire to go all in with Martin in the Littlewood as soon as GoXLR effects and improv get involved.
So it all started as this kind of thing usually does. Placing blocks around someone that's AFK, I mean, is just a rite of passage with Minecraft, right? We've all done it.
Are we sacrificing someone here? What's happening?
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
I've come to burn you all.
You did it, Ren. You summoned him.
You thought the moon was big? Just wait till you see the sun! When I get out of here, me and my coach, we're going to give you a sternly written email and a...
Yes, I was told by Gargalac you've had a serious case of gas for the last 3 millennia.
What is a Gargalac? That sounds like some kind of mouthwash.
You know Gargalac, he went to school with you. Speak to us, human.
You joined us.
It must be spreading.
Tell us which of them you like
I
to
must
chew
contain it.
on.
Feel the light leaving the soul.
Oh, yes, I feel it. Going to lose your life!
And finally there's Doc M77, who first has to be broken out of villager hell by Zedaf.
I cannot get out. With my rocket, when I want to fly up, I just, trade. So, if you could maybe break out one of the glass blocks on foot height.
Fortunately, that villager serves his purpose shortly afterwards, as Doc triggers a raid so he can capture a raid captain Vindicator. It turns out that name tagging one of these Johnny can lead to them giving some unusual orders to the other raid mobs, something Doc demonstrates on the server after striking 2 more villagers with lightning to get some homegrown witches. Combined with the Vindicator and some precise piston pushing, Doc creates a setup where they will splash infinite regen potions on a specific area, which makes up for all the times they poisoned him. In a creative test world, Doc and 202 Names showcase the more bizarre effects of exploiting this mechanic with raid mobs, such as prompting Ravagers to bite themselves to death, which would naturally wreak havoc on Decked Out, so Doc doesn't go that far on the server itself. But he's still doing absolutely wacky stuff with mobs, setting up a slime spawning area so he can capture them one at a time and dangle them from a huge tomato plant grown in one corner of the perimeter. The plot twist comes when you realize he's the only one running this resource pack, so to everyone else, his tomatoes haven't ripened yet.
Yeah, so looking at this, man, we've been placing a lot of blocks. We've been doing insane amounts of grind.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is PixelRiffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.